Carnival for 2023 from Flemington, coming home with the TAB Champion Stakes over the 2,000 metres. This is the revamped McKinnon Stakes. Zaki's about to try to create history and become the first triple winner.
Yeah, it'd be some effort, wouldn't it? Look, he's probably a length below his best these days, but his run last time out was brave, and who knows?
You are tipping the English horse, and that's West Wind Blows. Very good seconds in both its Australian starts so far, and really tested the subsequent Melbourne Cup winner without a fight in the Caulfield Cup.
Yeah, he's been a bit stiff, hasn't he? Probably not to win one of these today. He's bumped into a couple of good horses. Here he is. He was wide no cover first up in the Turnbull. Terrific behind Gold Trip, and then it took the subsequent Melbourne Cup winner to beat him late. He didn't beat him by much either, so look, obviously back to 2,000. I don't see him being too much of an issue here. He's got his foot right on the till, and off that effort there, and what without a fight's done since. He's got to be on top.
Your second pick is Duis, who had no luck at all, running fourth in the Cox Plate.
Yeah, look, a few said probably should have won the race. I'm not saying that, but I think, again, should have finished a little bit closer to the winner. Clearly going well, and 2,000 big track suits. Zaki trying to make it 3 straight. Got to be there somewhere up on speed. And ATISHU is going to love this extra trip, loves Flemington, and loved the run the other day.
And Brad, your top pick, West Wind Blows best back, 290, 310, back into 280 with the bookmakers. And Montefilia, 41 into 26, expected big odds.
Yeah, we know she's a good horse on her day. Look, very classy, 2,000 metres, Flemington, it all sets up nicely for her. So she's definitely not without a chance.
So the 8th event is the final Group 1 of the Flemington Melbourne Cup Carnival, the TAB Champion Stakes for $3 million with Matt.
Trip earlier in the year, with the Melbourne Cup winning jockey Mark Zahra in the saddle. Also young Verta just milling around. There's an issue here with one of these. News coming through. Okay, so they're going to have to change the shoe on Prow West, number 11. So as a result, they're going to back all of the horses out that are initially in. So usually this takes a little bit of time. So Prow West, the shoe has to be rectified. So West Wind Blows, Zarek, Pinstripe, Buckaroo and Montefilia have all been backed out. And the loading process will happen again in around about 2 or 3 minutes. So the farrier called upon here, so I'll send it back to respective studios for the time being.
All right, the farrier doing his work there, so delay ahead of the running of the TAB Champion Stakes. We might look ahead to the Gold Coast. Race number 6 due in around 3 from now. Jasper Franklin and Divine Courage at the top. 170 into $1.60 in the TAB trade. Jet foil for Paul Hammersley. Helen Page went up at $4.40, it's just out to $5. Agent of Mayhem, $4.60 out to $6. Waylaid went up at $9.50, late 10 into $8.50. Has some fans to beat all of them at longer odds. That's the read on the TAB fix. And for the Gold Coast with bookmakers, Divine Courage 165 into 160, back to 165. Jet foil 480 out to 550, back to 480 now at 5. And Waylaid for Dan McGilvray is 950 into $8.50. And My Girl Sky has been spec'd at very long odds, 41 into $31. That's a look at the Gold Coast. And race number 6, Mitch Manners is an Agent of Mayhem man, 3 to beat 1, 5 and 2. So we're just milling around behind the start point. 3 of these come through the Cox Plates. Mr. Davidson, there's Zaki, Pinstriped and Duis.
Yes, and we'll see how that sort of form line stacks up here. But, yeah, I mean, Duis was the luckless one, wasn't she? She had no luck whatsoever, was climbing all over their backs late. So, yeah, we'll see how that sort of stacks up here. But, look, it didn't really stack up in the Champions Mile, but they're all coming back to the mile where they all stay at the 2,000 here, and maybe those out of the Cox Plate in the Champions Mile were just a bit flat. So I think, yeah, it's still going to be a great form line for this, isn't it? The Cox Plate, the Weight for Age Championship.
Back to Matt for the TAB Champion Stakes.
Pinstriped is in. Also Zaki, the winner of this race in the last 2 years. Huitor, Young Verta and ATISHU will be the final 3 or 4 to come along. ATISHU ridden by James McDonald, who of course won this race a couple of years ago aboard Zaki. They oppose this afternoon. So here's Young Verta, and Huitor is going to be the last. The TAB Champion Stakes for the 155th time. The field is set to go. They are ready. Group 1 championship race, and they're away. Prowess jumped away very well. West Wind Blows, just ridden with aggression to stay in touch, second last in the early stages. Prowess is the initial leader, with also Young Verta. Zaki is sliding over, Pinstripe behind them. They were followed next by Jewis, who's going to tuck in on the rails from Buckaroo. West Wind Blows, Spencer's trying to get it going early, and it's now whipping up 3 and 4 deep around those horses. Then came Montefilia, who's third last from Zayrek, and last of all down the back section is Sweet Tour. So they get towards the 1400 metres, where it's Zaki joined and now headed by West Wind Blows, who's going to go to the front. They're 2 lengths to Pinstriped in third. Prowess in fourth place. A length away Young Verta. A length and a half away then Jewis. Next is Buckaroo. A couple of Tissue. Well back in the field. Third last Montefilia from Zayrek, and at the end we Tour. So the front runner West Wind Blows with 1100 metres to go by a length and a half to Zaki. 2.5 to Pinstriped and Prowess 4. A length and a quarter Young Verta. A similar gap to Jewis. Then came on the outside Buckaroo. Then a gap to a Tissue, Zayrek, and well back Montefilia, and We Tour as last as they reach the 800 marker. So the front runner is West Wind Blows. It's been a neutral pace by a length and a quarter. Zaki, 2 lengths to Pinstripe. They were followed by Buckaroo, who's moving up around the outside and putting itself in the race from Young Verta. Next in the field is Prowess as they run the turn from Jewis, getting away from the rails and is trying to come into it from a Tissue, and then came Zayrek. West Wind Blows joined by Zaki and heads it off now. Buckaroo made a line of 3. The race is on at the 350. A Tissue down the outside, and Jewis is trying to get a run. Zaki in front, kicked a length in front. A Tissue coming at Zaki though. A Tissue moves up to Zaki, Buckaroo, and then came Jewis, who's trying to come on, but a Tissue sprints away. 100 metres to go. 2 lengths in front of Zaki, and then Jewis, but it's a Tissue. J-Mac again. A Tissue wins. Second Jewis. Third Young Verta. Photo 4 Zaki, Buckaroo, then We Tour, followed by Prowess, West Wind Blows, Montefilia, Zayrek, and Pinstriped amongst the back markers.
So James McDonald and Chris Waller waltz away with the Champion Stakes with a Tissue too good for Dewis, and maybe 3 Young Verta through them late for third. And Zaki looks prominent for fourth. 10 beats 9. Reckon it's going to be 10, 9, 3 and 1. Wait for the judge to confirm. But a Tissue dominates in the Tab Champion Stakes for McDonald and for Waller. One race to come at Flemington. We've got to move on because the Gold Coast is looming. Race number 6 on the program.